Oh no, the vet just called and diagnosed my horse with navicular syndrome. There are many ways to correct and maintain navicular syndrome. In my 15 years of being a farrier, I have dealt with many navicular cases with all severity levels. In my opinion, corrective shoeing is the most beneficial way to treat a navicular horse, although there are many that will argue that barefoot corrective trimming is the only way. Let's take a look at what navicular is and why I choose corrective shoeing over barefoot trimming. Let's start with what is navicular. Navicular is lameness in a horse's foot that is referred to as navicular syndrome. It is most commonly described as inflammation or degeneration in the navicular bone or surrounding tissues. This is commonly referred to as the navicular bursa and is found in the rear part of the foot. There are many trains of thought of what is the best way to correct this issue, although the biggest argument over the years has always been use shoes or stay barefoot. When trimming navicular horses, some pain can be relieved without the use of shoes. When trimming, it is always a good idea to look at the conformation of the horse, to research flight patterns and natural hoof growth. Flight patterns in a horse is nothing more than the way they travel. This allows the farrier to see what parts of the foot can be trimmed to help and still keep the horse's foot supported. Breakover is a key part of trimming navicular horses. It allows the foot to have less stress with reducing the leverage of the toe and increasing the time that the horse's foot is in flight from stride to stride. However, having a barefoot horse is not always ideal. There is nothing to protect the foot from the ground, which could lead to sole bruising and breaking of the walls on weaker-footed horses. There is also no way to give extra support to the horse's foot while barefoot as when you would have a shod horse. Shod is a reference that horseshoers use, meaning the horse has shoes on. There is one great pro to trimming as opposed to shoeing: the almighty dollar. Trimming is 30 to 50% cheaper than shoeing your horse, and that is before any specialty items get involved. Shoeing a navicular horse can be done at many severity levels, which is a great plus to using shoes. When a farrier is tasked with shoeing a navicular horse, he must look at several things: the conformation of the horse, what shoe to use. There are many different types of shoes: wedge heel shoes, bar shoes. You can also use pads between the horse's foot and the shoe. As a horseshoer researches the key parts of a horse to distinguish what shoe needs to be needed, he will often find that the common shoe to give the most support will be a bar shoe. A bar shoe is a solid made shoe that has no open parts in it, unlike a regular shoe. What this means to the horse: every time the horse's foot impacts the ground, it will totally stabilize the horse's foot with equal pressure with a bar shoe. When fitting a bar shoe or any other type of shoe, it is absolutely necessary that the shoe be fit full. All this means is that there is extra width beside the heels and the back part of the heels for expansion and support. Breakover is also another key part of shoeing a navicular horse, much like with trimming. Although when using shoes, it allows the farrier to be much more aggressive. Reason for this? Simple. There is a shoe there for protection. Allows the farrier to take more foot if needed and still protect the horse's foot. Now, there are two major cons to shoeing horses. We've discussed price, and with every extra style of shoe or pads and pack, the cost goes up, and then you have to drive nails in a horse's foot. And regardless of any shoer and how well their job is, anytime you put foreign objects in the wall of a horse's foot, it weakens the hoof wall. Necessary risk? I believe so. In conclusion, barefoot trimming can help many navicular horses, but corrective shoeing far outweighs barefoot trimming to help benefit the horse through not only correction, maintenance, and longevity of life.